Acura's MDX platform has been one of its #1 sellers for a couple of years now. This right next to me is a 2024 Acura MDX Platinum Elite. For our American friends, think the advanced MDX version. Now, this car here has a sticker price of $75,000 Canadian. So let's take it out on the road and see if everything you get and everything has to offer is actually worth its sticker price. I'm James, this is Test Drive. Let's get into it. All right, so now on the road, Acura MDX 2024. It's been a pretty luxurious week overall, but I really want to start by talking a little bit about the exterior. There's not a lot that's changed exterior-wise this year or even last year, 2023's. And I don't even know if 2022, it's basically been the same. I mean, the platform's done so well for Acura, I didn't really see a reason for them to change. Got really nice daytime running LEDs, really nice turn signals. The taillights are nice too. I like the design. The white is a very, very hard white to keep clean, especially on a huge vehicle like this. So you just want to watch out for that. The rims are nice. It's a nice design. It's a very under the radar MDX without having to go up to the full A-Spec. The A-Spec is a little bit more in your face. MDX Platinum Elite is a little bit fully charged, but also not all up in your face and just very much under the radar, undercover boss type thing. Of course, the MDX does have some performance to it because, you know, it wouldn't be an Acura if it didn't. So I can pop it over into sport mode and I can rip it. A little bit of lag, but not bad. If that audio is not pumped in, that is a great sounding engine. That is like one of the best three-row sounding engines I've heard all year. That's better than the Palisade. That's better than the Kia Telluride. That's a nice sound. And like, yeah, it's not, it's laggy but it is very nice. So no problem passing, you know, slower traffic. I do have other modes. I have normal, I have comfort mode, and you know, that's gonna make the dampening nice and good and the throttle response nice and smooth, so that's nice too. And then I also have a snow mode for obviously the winter, and then an individual mode where I can kind of change and customize all of those, you know, different things, suspension, steering, and drivetrain, all that stuff is in that customization mode, which is nice. Do like to have that, so that's cool. Handling wise, I feel like it's good too. There is quite a bit of body roll. Like when you have a full car and you kind of take a sharp turn and you look in the back, you'll notice your passengers are moving around quite a bit. So they haven't really tucked that in too much. But again, it's a really big car, really big platform, really wide wheelbase. So that just naturally is going to cause body roll. It's almost impossible to stop it. But yeah, it's very comfortable for what it is. The seats are extremely comfortable. It's very nice in here. I could do a road trip, no problem. The dampening is excellent. I don't think you'll have any problem with the drivetrain or the suspension in the winter, so that's also good news. In terms of like tech and stuff like that, I've got a very nice digital gauge cluster that I can, you know, kind of customize a little bit. There's like a classic mode and then like a more detailed mode, and the drive modes do affect it. You can change it, you know, when I have it in my dynamic mode, sport mode, it kind of changes the color and a little bit of the look to it. Good amount of information there. I like that there's this little car animation where there's a car in front of me. I can see that when my lights go on. I can see that in my there's like a little picture of the car there in the middle. It's really cool. I've got paddle shifters too, which, I mean, I don't really use them, but they're there if you want them. There's no true manual mode. I can press like a button on my gear selector here. They're all buttons. I can press it and have it go into actual sport mode just quickly without using the dynamic shifter, but it's there if you want it. I'd say one of the biggest pain points for the Acura MDX is probably the use of the infotainment. The screen's good, great quality, great features. I don't mind the software, no lag at all. It's how you actually interact with it. You have to use the touchpad. Think like, you know, the older Lexus. I think Lexus has figured that out and figured that absolutely nobody wants to use a system like that. But unfortunately, Acura is still a little bit late to the party on that. And yeah, you have to use this trackpad. And when I got in, it caused me a nightmare because I wasn't expecting it. I tried to touch the screen and I couldn't. For me, my problem is, like, I'm used to the trackpad now. Like, right, like after, say, like, you know, a couple of minutes of driving and using it, you understand how to use the trackpad. Your brain kind of catches up with whatever is going on here, and you get how to use it. That it's not really a problem that it's there, it's a problem that you can't actually go and reach over and actually touch the infotainment display and use it if you don't want to use a trackpad. It's annoying and it's not good that you're forced to use a trackpad for everything. That's probably like the worst part of the interior usability overall. Everything else looks great. Got dual zone automatic climate control. I've got wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, as well as wired is good. Got plenty of ports up here. I've got a wireless charging pad, a big one. Doesn't really have ventilation, so I'm worried about phones overheating here. Mine has gotten pretty hot on this as well. I believe Niall mentioned that in his Forester video. Go check that out if you haven't already. Another thing that I've noticed driving the Acura MDX all week is the turn signals are loud. Whenever I'm on the phone with anybody, whenever anything is happening, the turn signals, they can always hear them, like clear as day through the phone whenever I have my turn signals on. And I live in Quebec. There's a lot of traffic here. And the roads aren't good, the drivers aren't good. So my turn signal is on a lot. So when you're on the phone, you're gonna hear it, and you're just gonna hear it in the cabin as well. There's no option to turn it down. And you'll never, the good thing is though, is you'll never forget that your turn signal is actually on. It's so loud. Another thing that impressed me with the Acura MDX is, of course, the driver has, you know, memory seats. That's normal in a luxury vehicle, but it's not often that we see the passenger door have memory seating. It actually has 3 memory seating settings for the passenger, and they're all power adjusted, which is great. Also, when you're sitting in the back, let's talk about the back seats a little bit. The back seats, the 3rd row, I don't even try to fit in there. It's just not gonna happen. You need small people to fit in there. But the 2nd row is really good. Lots of space, plenty of room. There, you got your own HVAC back there. The windows though are so tinted in the back that like you close the door, you cannot see anyone. Like it's actually a really nice feature. Usually like the tints aren't that good. The tints on this back of this Acura are really good. Makes it really feel high class. Nobody can see you when you're being driven in your Acura MDX Platinum Elite. It's really cool. And the seats kind of come forward for you, and you also have like cup holders. You can actually take out the middle seat to have like captain's chairs, but you don't really need to do that. You can also fold that seat down, and you can have just the cup holders. It kind of looks like captain chairs a little bit, but yeah, it's very accessible. It's a very accessible 3-row. There's plenty of space for everybody, plenty of space for the family. So that's all very, very good news. So I think with that, that's gonna about do it for the 2024 Acura MDX. Overall, it's a great family car. It is very expensive though. That is the thing. That's where I started the video. It's very expensive, $70,000. Is it worth it for all the features you get? I'd say probably, because I think they're in line or they're close to what the Telluride and, you know, the Hyundai Palisade are doing. Obviously that's a lower end, but you still get kind of the same amount of features there. I just think the handling and the power delivery is maybe a bit better in the Acura than those guys. So if you're like into it with the power, then maybe you're okay if you can afford it. And I just think that if you've driven Acuras before, then you know what to expect and you like everything, then yeah, $70,000 is worth it. Me personally, I don't know. I feel like if I could find all these same features for around the same price, maybe I wouldn't go with Acura at this high price. It is what it is. I don't think I don't think I would pay $70,000 for it, but you are getting a lot for it if you do. I wouldn't say it's not necessarily worth it. Me personally, wouldn't do it. So that's gonna do it for this week's video of the 2024 Acura MDX. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed any of it, you can always become a member of the channel if you want to support us even further. All that is just going to go right back into providing better content for you guys, so that helps us. But of course, the main content will always be free. You can subscribe. Make sure you subscribe if you made it this far in the video. Leave us a like, give us a comment, and also check out our other videos. Me and Niall are kind of going back and forth with the different press cars we are able to get our hands to week after week. Sometimes we'll land on the same one, sometimes we won't. And that's just how it goes. So you're gonna get the best of both worlds. You're getting 2 guys just pumping away. We just love it. We just love the cars. We're obsessed with the passion, and we just love sharing it. And that's all we wanna do. And we wanna be your go-to source for all your car buying needs. Anything you need, anything you wanna know about the car, we wanna cover it here on Test Drive. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here before I talk to you all day. That's gonna do it for this week. See you in the next week. See you in the next car. Take care.